Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. I'm here with Callie Kim.
Hi, everyone.
I missed it. That was good, though.
No, that's good. I'll say hi, everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I always say anyway, so that's great.
I'm going to do it again. Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. I'm here with Callie Kim.
Hi, everyone. Gary, thanks for having us here.
You're very welcome. We're going to get through this video. We've been having a great time. Today's video is all about why is a cucumber bitter, why is it sour, how do you save seeds, and when's the best time to pick them?
Cucumbers are a delicious summer treat, but when they're bitter, they're not very good. So we'll give you some tips on that today.
All right, let's start with picking out some fresh cucumbers, and then we'll talk about what you see down here.
One thing that causes bitterness in cucumbers is stress. So whatever you do, you want to don't stress the cucumber. So it can be caused by heat, lack of water, and sometimes harvest timing can play into that a little bit as well.
Yeah, the biggest thing that makes them bitter, and I'm going to get the word wrong, cucurbitacin.
Cucurbitacin, the chemical that makes them bitter.
It makes them bitter, is really if the plant is stressed, like you're saying. Infrequent watering, you're going to end up with a bitter cucumber. So you want to know when to pick them. Now this is, first of all, the pickling type cucumbers. That's a good size, but it's starting to get a little bit yellow, kind of orangey. This is a little bit past its prime. We have really stressed out cucumbers up here from the crazy heat that we've had for a while. And these may not be bitter. Look, something's eating this one.
Oh, wow.
You want to remove these and just get rid of them. Let the energy go to, this one may be okay. Let the energy go to the flowers and new cucumbers. So we'll find some healthy cucumbers in here too, but I might have picked them all for the
Got
cucumber
lots
salad.
of good looking
little ones.
little tiny ones in here.
So if we go down here, what can happen with a cucumber this size is the seeds are getting mature, and around the seeds it kind of becomes jelly-like and it becomes really sour. So it's a good chance that the center of this cucumber is going to be sour. And we'll cut this open and we'll talk about seed saving too, so people can see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's see.
You've got a really lot of nice looking flowers in here. So you'll still be getting more cukes.
So, and I've been watering regularly, feeding regularly with the water soluble. Like these are just beat up cucumbers. So let's find the cucumber that's right to pick. I really picked them all for making that cucumber salad last night.
It was delicious last night.
All right, let's check over
Here
here.
we got a bumblebee.
So here's another cucumber. It's oversized. And remember, when a cucumber is large, it doesn't mean it's going to be bitter. It's the stress to the plant, the infrequent watering that concentrates that chemical that makes it bitter. This one is probably going to be sour, so it's not going to be the best. But this is also what you want to do to collect seeds. You want it to ripen on the plant till it becomes yellow and almost orange, and that means the seeds are getting mature. Let's go over to another cucumber plant and find one that's worth harvesting.
But especially when your cucumbers are flowering and fruiting, so you have those little tiny fruit and tons of flowers like you have here, be really consistent with your watering. If you're not getting a lot of rain, make sure you're running your drip more frequently, especially when it gets really hot, because the stress is really what makes them bitter.
When it was 95 degrees, I was watering this just about every day, and it's made a huge difference. We can struggle with cucumbers. This plant, there's actually two here, has been in the ground since the beginning of June. So
Wow.
It made it through the heat. It looks pretty good. It's getting fed, and all the all the cucumbers are going to come back with a vengeance now that the temperatures have dropped down to 85. The nights are in the 60s, so it's going to be great.
There's tons of flowers on this plant.
Let's go this way. These are the cucumbers that are perfect for picking. And again, if they become bitter,
They've got the chemical cucurbitacin in them,
I don't
which
wanna
they
say
have
that.
more of when they're bitter.
yeah, and usually with the bitterness, the chemical gets right into the tips. So if this was stressed out, or you pick a batch and they're bitter, you're just going to cut off the tips just like that. That removes a lot of the bitterness. And then when you're peeling it, peel it a little bit deeper, taking off the skin and maybe more of a layer of the cucumber. And that can really reduce the bitterness from the actual cucumber. To keep it from happening, just be consistent with the watering. And when we cut this open, you're going to see the immature
That's perfect.
seeds. It's going to be sweet all the way through. You can't harvest these. They're not going to be viable. But that's why you want to be picking, somewhere at this size, like back here. Let me show you these. A little bit bigger so that you have immature seeds, easier to digest, better flavor.
And this one, too big, but it can still be used.
Yeah, now when we go over to the oversized ones, they could be bitter. However, take a look at the one down here, Jerry. this is probably going to be more sour. If we took, maybe this cucumber from over here that's more yellow, as they progress into that yellow and orange color, when we cut down the middle, let me cut it this way because this one's so big. You see how the seeds are mature? That's what you want them to start looking like for seed collecting. But all in here, all this gel, it's going to be really tart. The outer cucumber can still taste okay. So you want to go in, if you're making a cucumber salad, you actually want to get into here and scoop all this out. You just don't want this in your cucumber salad. It's really tart, it's really sour. And we'll just throw it
Because we all get busy and forget to get out in here and harvest, and the cucumbers grow so fast, so if you're not like lifting up your vines and harvesting them every day, you're going to have cucumbers that look like this, but they don't have to go to waste.
And it only takes 2 days, 3 days for them to go from something like this to getting a little bit oversized to something like that.
Send me that one over there, would you, Gary?
Yeah.
So look at the difference between this one, which is really the perfect size, and this one. Look at the difference of the seeds. So you can save these, replant them once you dry them out, and then this one is just perfect for eating and slicing as is.
Now the seeds here, they look pretty viable. What you can do is pick them, and if you take a look from here, Jerry, going from green, getting oversized, starting to turn yellow, you're really waiting for the cucumber to look something like this. You can leave it on the vine. These have been sitting out here for really 7 or 10 days. The oversized cucumbers I tend to just throw on the ground. So when we get to something like this is totally ripe. It's going to taste terrible, so you don't even want to eat any part of this. And actually, I just cut through the seeds. You don't want to cut it that way. But all these seeds now are going to be viable. And it's just a little bit of a progression to this, from this one up here in your hand. And you can actually just wait till this even softens. You just want to make sure these seeds get really plump. Best way to do it is towards the end of the season, leave this on the vine and let it turn this color on the vine versus dropping it to the ground.
And you can tell the difference in color. We just picked this one today, and this one you yell it on the vine and then you kind of let it sit here for a little while, and look at the difference in the seeds too.
Like we were saying, continue to plant through the summer. So this is another wave of cucumbers. This is put in on 725.
So a lot easier sometimes to start over with fresh new seeds, fresh new plants, than to try and keep a plant that's beat up alive. So 20 days, and it's already, a little more than a foot tall.
Yeah, and it's going to start producing much quicker than you think, because on the back of the seed packet, that's just general guidelines. With the warmth of summer, obviously, warm soil, the heat around it, the ambient temperature, these really take off. And the beauty is that maybe 2-3 weeks ago, you might have vine borers here in Maryland, or you have different diseases. You can plant through the disease and insect cycles so that these plants aren't even bothered by anything. So I will be getting cucumbers from this plant well into the middle of October.
Wow, that's great. So plant a fresh new round now, and then once your summer plants die out, you're going to have these to take their place and keep the harvest going.
All right, let's find the cucumbers.
Let's keep the harvest going here.
Now this is the garden bush slicer, just like that. So I recommend in containers go with a bush variety. Even though bush varieties still get big, they're perfect for containers. And there's actually 3 cucumber plants in here. And
wow, just 3. It's amazing.
There's a cucumber down here that's ready to pick.
Oh, nice.
So and on this side, there is a cucumber that is too large, turning yellow.
It's a big one.
This is going to be sour tasting or tart. Not the outer part of the cucumber, but again where the seeds are. And then through here we have a lot of nicer cucumbers.
Some great looking ones here. This one is perfect. Look at the color on that one. It's beautiful.
It's a perfect time to pick it. It's going to be nice and sweet. Here's another one about the same size. Now you can get these, let these get a little bit larger. I think if we work our way down, you might see some bigger cucumbers.
Look at the difference here in the color between one that's overripe, and one that's just about right. This one you can tell it's starting to turn yellow. And this one is perfectly green. This one's the perfect one there.
Yeah, it's on its way to that yellow-orange color for saving seeds. And let's just work our way through. There's a smaller one. We'll let that one grow. Here's a good size.
Oh, that's nice.
So this is going to be your sweetest cucumber, about that size.
It's perfect.
A little bit larger.
So a few more down there. That might be a little oversized, but still I think pretty good.
We have enough down here.
Oh, here's a nice one.
Now that one's
A little bit on the big side. You can see too how the skin is kind of starting to brown a little bit. Not really splitting, but that's a sign of too it kind of growing out of its skin a little bit.
Yep. Here's a good size. We'll take this one. All right, let's take these over to the other cucumbers and then show people how to collect the seeds and talk again more about the changes in flavor and bitterness.
Sounds good.
So to recap quickly, perfect size to pick them, sweet, delicious, something like this. You know, each variety is going to vary a little bit. As the cucumbers get larger, it's going to become more gel-like, bigger seeds, and it's going to become sour.
And I think really the key to growing cucumbers without bitterness is avoid stressing the plant out, which means you're going to water it deeply, water it consistently, especially when it's fruiting and flowering, and then pick it at the ideal size or as close to ideal size as possible. I mean, don't stress about that, but probably about like this, but it is dependent on the variety.
Yep, and each variety is going to differ a little bit, but experiment. You know, pick them at different sizes, see what you like in the flavor, and it's going to be fine. And remember, like you said, keep them watered. Water-soluble fertilizer every 2 weeks to 3 weeks when the plants are large. It's going to make all the difference.
Definitely. Keep your cucumbers producing all summer long and even into the fall if you plant a new crop right now.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.